Another day, another dollar. Oh, Weezy, welcome
For,
to episode 10 of Cheddar Dogs.
yes, another day, another dollar for the top dog with the gold flea collar.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 10. Glad to have you here, Weezy. Again, my sidekick. Nice to have you here.
Always good
Um,
to be here, bro.
it's good to have you. And also, considering the times we're in, we it's tough. It's tough times. And I think that's the bone of contention today is
Okay.
is our discussion regarding debt. But before we go there, Easy, I'd just like to give a shout out to our sponsor, beancruncher.co.za. Beancruncher is
Okay.
an analytics program, OEZ, that if you're a
Hmm.
Sage or Xero user, which is accounting software, you can plug
Sure.
into Beancruncher and you can pull management accounts, simple data analytics for the simple layman that you don't have to be a finance professor to understand where you are with your business. So whether you are an individual small business owner, you can use Beancruncher for your purposes. If you're an accounting practice, you can use it for all your clients and generate management accounts for them. And obviously, just give you additional accredited value to your business. So check it out.
Fantastic.
They got a 28 day free trial period, which is
Okay.
fantastic. And yeah, so go to beancruncher.co.za and yeah, tell them you saw us and you saw them on Cheddar Dogs. Hey, the only place to be. But
Well,
yeah,
once
now
again, PD, Cheddar Dog's bringing you the real deal. The real heart from the real dog for the real finance people.
yeah, but I think just not the finance, but I think everybody, because I think that's who we want to address. We want to talk to everybody. We are yet
Okay.
we are looking out for you. We are your watchdogs. We got your back. We want to give you guidance. So yeah, I
Sure.
think let's jump straight into that, Weezy.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Okay. So PD, good debt versus bad debt, right? Well, and then once again, where I come from, debt. Is it a swear word? Is it not? Is it a good thing? Is it not? I, I, I don't understand how there can be good debt or bad debt. And when jumping into this thing, PD, when one mentions debt, all you think of is one person owing another person an amount of money for something that they've acquired. And what I found out with debt is it's such a big contentious issue that if one even looks to religion, there's principles on it. If one looks at Islam, there's a method on how debt is approached, whether it's no interest or low interest loans, helping the fellow man out. If one looks at the Christian Bible, the Bible refers to the debtor as a slave to the lender, and that bears a lot of truth to it, in the sense that when you are the debtor, you don't have much say over the credit agreement with the lender. The lender dictates the interest rate, the repayment period, how long it's going to take, when it must be paid, how it must be paid. And dare you be a day late, he's on your case, you've got to answer it. P Dog, am I really a slave because I'm in debt, be it good or bad?
No, well, Weezy, I think you've taught me a few things today. I never knew about the biblical correlation with regards to debt. But you know, the, in today's day, and especially now in 2023, we're living in a society where the interest rates are incredibly high, and I think it's all around the world. The
Mm,
US, South Africa,
it's
um,
global.
Europe. It's a global thing. Interest rates are high, which is good for people who don't have debt, because if they've got surplus cash, they can just leave it in the bank and and earn some good interest on it. But unfortunately,
Mm,
those are the minority. Yeah. The majority
exactly.
of people, they live off debt. They survive. They got credit cards. They got loans. They got mortgage bonds. They've got, you name it. There's debt. They might owe their cousins, brothers, aunties, uncles, dog. But the point is that there's debt, and people rely on the debt. And unfortunately, as interest rates go up, that debt becomes more and more expensive. And
Yeah.
and I think let's focus on individuals. Okay, individuals, as a person, people, they've got credit cards. It's nice to swipe the credit card, and I think in these days, one also needs to differentiate between a need and a want, and which we've highlighted before. I think it was in episode 7. Is that when you're swiping a credit card, you're paying a lot more than just the item you're buying because of the interest and all that's being spent on those credit cards. So
Yeah.
debt needs to be managed. One needs to be seriously aware of what you're doing with your debt and your money. All right. So bad debt, credit cards, number one. What is it? Okay, let's stick to that. Credit cards, loans, short-term loans. Look at the price of vehicles, OBZ. It's like ridiculous. The price you can pay for a double cab bucky, all right, is almost the same price as a little flat. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So what do you do? It's scary. So what do? Do you buy something that depreciates? Being the vehicle, and understandably, and let's put it this way: we understand in some countries one relies on a vehicle to get around, so one needs it. But do you need a 800 or 900,000 rand or a $50,000 bucky, for argument's sake? No, you don't.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying. Do you really need to be spending that type of money on vehicles? It's a depreciating asset, people. Yes, you want to keep up with the Joneses. You want to live, drive in comfort, drive your auto, nice leather seats. It's great, but you're paying a lot for that vehicle that's depreciating, and as soon as you drive off the showroom floor, you've lost 15% in value. Is that what you want? Yeah, it's as much as that, OBC. Is that what you really want? And I think that's the contentious issue here. Is what is, yes, I need debt to survive. We all do. Okay, it's not just you. We all do. But be careful how you manage that debt. You asked me, P-Dog, what is good debt? Before I jump into that, I just want to also highlight a lot of financial institutions actually have prepaid credit cards, which is quite nice because you can top up your credit card with the amount of money you intend on spending, which is great for managing your finances. You're not just swiping, and then eventually you go into a situation where you owe the bank plus interest and all that. It doesn't work that way. You top up your card, you put in $500 into your card, and that's all you get to spend. Once you depleted the 500, there's no more money in your card. But that's one way at least of managing your money. And you want to use a credit card because you don't pay the bank fees, the merchant pays for that. So it's just a little tip for everyone out there. Okay?
Very clever.
So Awizi, good debt, property. I always talk about property. Property is very important because, especially investment property, when you're buying and you're renting it out, that interest that you're paying is actually tax deductible, but that interest also plays a role in your investment. You are earning a return on that investment. It's not a depreciating asset. In 90% of the time, it's supposed to appreciate, depending where you buy. Location. Let's not go there again.
We discussed episode 7.
We discussed all that, absolutely. So it is important. That's good debt because then you can leverage off financial institutions' money and grow your own investment so that you make more money in the long term. Does that make sense?
It does. So what you're saying is using it as a tool, right? You're not buying something worthless, cheap, here today, gone tomorrow, flying out the window. It's something concrete. My property, I can see it, I can touch it, I can lick it. It's there. It's not going anywhere. And you cannot sell a property in 2-3 days. Even if you were to sell it, it's something that takes a process that's long standing and tangible. I think the key word is tangible and value. Buying something valuable with it, although you still have to answer to that creditor that's lent you the money for it. You've got to just be very and that comes back to what you said earlier, PD, about management. The tenant that you get to pay that rent, is he good? Is he bad? Is he ugly? Is he gonna pay me? Will I still be able to repay that creditor should he default? That's the management side of the good debt, and then that's where I see you coming from. So is there any other example of good besides the property? I mean, that's a massive purchase, but is there maybe something for someone smaller out there? Business. Someone just trying to run a little business and gets a machine to help him out with production. Could that be classified as another form of maybe good debt on a smaller scale?
Yeah, in fact, it could be, yes. If you are actually going to purchase and we can talk about companies, but yes, if you're going to purchase something to generate income for yourself or to generate further income, even if it is a depreciating asset, you get what, but you're using it to create further wealth, then I would consider that to be good debt.
Okay.
All right.
Sure,
if you're buying like I mentioned earlier, a bakkie, all right, a vehicle just to drive around, just to get from A to B, etc.
Yes.
It's a depreciating asset. Then look at the value of that. You really need that high value type of item.
It's not bringing me money.
It's not bad, but unless you're using that vehicle to generate, you're using it to do deliveries. Okay. You're using it. You get what I'm saying? Then at least then the bad debt actually turns into good debt because you're using it to create wealth, and that's important. If you are generating wealth, I think any debt is then considered to be good in that case. Yes.
Okay.
So I think that's one way of differentiating between the two, and I think it's important differentiation that.
Yeah. So in other words, the bad debts basically your credit cards that you're using, and I think that's a problem for most people out there is trying to survive. They're using that credit card to put food on the table, to see to school fees, to get the family through the month, which is a clear indication salaries and income at that stage is not enough. And if it's not enough, one should not consider debt to fill in the gaps unless it's a very, very temporary solution. You then got to maybe dig deeper into the root of your problem. I'm not earning enough money. Do I maybe need to get a second job, a side hustle? Do I need to downscale my living arrangements or my lifestyle? Is my house too expensive? Then you've got to ask yourself those types of questions, PD, if you're not making it through the month and using bad debt to survive the month.
100%. You hit the nail on the head. It is important to look at yourself. Why am I spending so much? Why am I using so much debt to survive? Look inside. Are you staying in a house that you can't afford anymore? Are you driving vehicles that you can't afford anymore? All those type of things play a huge role in the long term. So it is important to ascertain exactly your current position, and if it means downscale or whatever, do it. Don't forget status. It's not about status. It's about survival. And people need to get out of their heads that they need to keep up with the Joneses. They don't need to keep up. They must just be able to put a roof over their head, food on the table, and be able to live a happy life with not having to depend too much on these financial institutions for money. Yes, we do need them. We do definitely, but manage it. I think that's the key, is to manage your debt. If you're living beyond your means, change what you're doing. Move your house, sell your house, downgrade, get a smaller place. The opposite as well. You find a lot of people, when the interest rates are down, a lot of things are more affordable. A 4 million rand house is a lot more affordable. You know what I mean? Yes. Vehicles are a lot more affordable. You find people buy not just one property, 2, 3, 4 properties. But remember that cycle, when that interest rate goes up again, make sure that you have enough mitigating factors in place to cover that debt. If not, you stand a chance of losing everything. The banks will come, repossess, the sheriff will come knocking on your door, they will come and take everything away. So you need to make sure that you manage your debt as best you can. It is a job. Managing your household you must be taken as serious as your work. It is. You need to make sure there's people that rely on you. You've got wife, kids, whoever under your roof. You need to manage that debt very carefully.
So it's like the relationship of the slave. Me being the debtor, I'm a slave to that bank or that financial institution. If I cannot pay them for whatever reason, be that X, Y, or Z reason, they are not going to go easy on me and say, "Oh, Shane, your tenant never paid you this month. It's okay. Don't pay us. We'll take it easy on you." They're not going to have
No,
that attitude. They're
no,
more with the,
unfortunately,
it's not our problem. You, the one that signed for it, you got to pay us.
exactly. It's a contract, and unfortunately, it is. They're also businesses. They also have shareholders they need to address. Who want returns. So they also, it's business. It's just business for them.
It's a
So there's
cycle of
no.
business.
It is. It is. So that's why it's important. You need to manage your own affairs internally. And I think while we talk about this, let's talk about companies. People, what is good debt and bad debt in companies, Owizi? Now, I think any debt in a company is more considered to be good debt than it is bad debt, because you're running a business to generate wealth. So any debt
Yes.
is good, but again, it needs to be managed. Don't just buy
Correct.
vehicles for the sake of buying a vehicle. In that, if you that vehicle's generating you income, it's good. All right.
Yes,
Um,
absolutely.
Another thing is, as an owner of a business, if you're owning, if you have a company or a CC or whatever, an Inc, whatever business out there, you need to again manage your debt equity. Now, when I say debt equity, it's the balance between how much debt in the business to equity. Equity is basically money that you would put in out of your own pocket into the business to keep it going. All right.
Okay.
If you find that there's too much debt, you're relying too much on third parties, maybe look at your business and say, okay, I need more money. I can't go to the banks and ask more. What other ways can I bring in money into this business? And you can consider selling a piece of your business to an outside party who perhaps has that cash injection to put in so that you can grow your business further. So that is important way. So that again, you're managing your debt in your company. It is, and then I find Owizi, a lot of these small retailers. They tending. There's a lot of these funding institutions out there that offer them quick. Within one day, they've got the money in the bank. Short-term loans, but the interest
Okay.
rate is incredibly expensive. There's many out there, but that interest rate, they don't. I think they become so desperate they sign on the dotted line, but they don't actually read how much interest is being charged on a daily basis, not monthly or per annum basis. And they find it actually becomes unaffordable. Cash flow, remember, cash is king, regardless.
Sure.
And if
Sure.
it affects your cash flow, it's going to affect your business. So think twice before signing on that dotted line, and do your homework. See what other options you have in order to bring in extra money into your business to be able to grow your business, because that's ultimately what you want. Your intention.
So, PD, if I understand you correctly, this is when you pass the point of trying to maximize sales and revenue. You've hit that point already where you can't bring in more revenue into your business. You don't have any more capacity or whatever. Maybe the market's not strong enough, but you still need that extra cash flow to come in, right? And that's where you jump into these quick finance, quick loan solutions. To tide you over, so to say. But you now saying, don't watch out. There is another option. Look at the equity. Selling a piece of your business, not the whole thing, might
No,
just be a better option than going into with these expensive short-term loans. Because yes, as you said, those loan providers need to make money. They also in it for the quick return. As quick as they can turn that cash around and bring in the income, they're making money as well by not doing much.
Exactly that. So it is important to do your homework before doing that, because remember, whatever decision you make has an impact. Whether it's a good or bad impact, it will still have an impact. So make sure you read the terms and conditions. Make sure you covered everything. Run an assessment analysis. The pros and cons of, if I do this, what could possibly happen? If I do this, what's going to possibly happen?
But you see,
And that's
PD,
how you. Sorry, what's
sorry
that?
to jump in. So sorry to jump in there,
No.
but when you're saying do that homework, that's where something like Bean Cruncher comes in. That can run those numbers very quickly for you and get you to that point of, this is a good decision, this is a bad decision, this is an ugly decision. So peeps, do
Exactly.
consider things like Bean Cruncher that will make your lives easier and get you that rather than deliberating for weeks and having discussions with bankers. Use these analytical programs that will crunch the numbers for you. Bean Cruncher, crunch those numbers and get to your answer quicker.
Exactly. And Oweezy, people don't understand. They think by looking at their bank statement, they know where they are with their business. No, they don't. Bean Cruncher gives you those management accounts where you can see exactly where your business is at any given time. It's real time. If your books are done correctly in Sage and Xero and it's updated continuously, you can pull those reports at any given time and you'll know where you stand with your business, which is important. You can't be in the engine room there just getting jobs, getting sales done, but you don't know where the ship is heading. Are you heading for an iceberg? You don't know. The best way to do it is look at your management accounts, demand for management accounts, ask your accountants for management accounts. If you're a small business owner, go on to beancruncher.co.za, sign up for it's very cheap.
Try it out.
Sign up for the free and test it out. See for yourself. It might be a game changer. But that's what you need to do. The numbers tell a story, and this is what I tell everybody. The numbers tell a story. And
numbers don't lie.
They don't lie. And that way you can make the best decision for you, your business, for your family, and for your future wealth. And that's what's important at the end of the day, Oweezy.
Great. Well, PD, we seem to be running out of time here. Is there any last few factors you could talk about on debt? I mean, we've now understand that there's a good and there's a bad debt, and to rather focus on the good. And if there is bad debt, ask yourself those difficult questions we went through earlier of, do you need to downscale your life? But is there anything else that you could maybe just close off to the peeps with and say, consider this or look at this or anything wise words from the P-Dog?
Oweezy, it's simple. Be real with yourself. Understand your situation. If you're living beyond your means, make that call. Put your pride aside. If you know it's time to sell or you now need to downscale from a BMW to a Toyota, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. Your cash flow determines how you live. And that is important, is to always assess your position. Because remember, it affects everyone around you, and it affects circumstances, and it affects the way you're going to live for the rest of your life. And that is important to take into consideration. So that's from me. Oweezy, anything from your side?
Well, I think you've nailed it on the head, PD. I can't really earn much to that, but just, yes, guys and girls, we are slaves to the lender. We don't control the contract. We are controlled. It doesn't sound good. And these are the pictures being painted. And that's the reality when you pull back all the rewards that they offer and all the glitz and glamour. Take up these loans. They will help you. They will save you. They might just do the exact opposite. Don't be a slave. Be yourself. Make the real call. Do what's best for you and only you. You come first. Remember that.
Correct. So, Oweezy, that's us.
All right. Yes.
Over to you.
P-Dog and Oweezy saying peace out and take it easy.
Take it easy. Cheers. Bye.
3, 2, 1.